Hey everyone, Tanya here, and welcome to Deported to Paradise, episode 2. Today I'll be talking about how I got my first job in my first apartment once I got here. This is Cube, my baby, and then Tupac's floating around somewhere as well. They're my kiddos. I could not do life without them, so yeah, they're my babies. So that day we got here on a Saturday morning, well, about 10ish. By the time we got to our hostel, so we didn't have a place to stay the whole time on the bus until we finally found a hostel right across the street from the Malecon, which is the busy, street by the beach. And it was $15 a day. It was just a room, a nice room with a bathroom, and it was either queen size or full size bed. So it was perfect for my mom and I. Once we got there around noonish, we went and we were going to go get something to eat. And my mom's like, well, what do you want to eat? And I'm like, well, I really want a hamburger and fries because that's my favorite. And I had been in prison and detention center, and I haven't had anything good like that in a long time. So we went out of the hostel and started walking. Of course, the first restaurant was like enchiladas, the second was like tacos, and I was hungry, so I'm like, Mom, it doesn't matter if we don't find a hamburger joint, we could do that some other time. Let's just choose the next restaurant. And it just so happened that we got to a restaurant called Brooklyn's. That was the next one that we found, and they did have hamburgers and fries, and more importantly, they had air conditioning. Not all the restaurants had air conditioning or turned it on. So we went in and we met this awesome lady named Morena. She lives, I think, 6 months here and 6 months in the States, and she has a restaurant here. And the food was awesome. And while we were waiting for the food, she came and sat down with us, and she was just asking questions. How long are you here? Are you on vacation? Blah blah blah. So at that point, we asked her, do you know anybody that's renting an apartment? Because, looking for an apartment. And she started looking on her phone. Once, you know, we were talking and everything, this lady came in the restaurant with her daughter, and she knew Morena. So Morena was like, hey, how are you? And this is Alma and Tanya. Do you know anybody that's renting out an apartment? And she goes, yeah, my landlord is actually renting the apartment right above me. So I was like, oh my gosh. And it was only 3,000 pesos, I think, which is like 200. Well, no, 3,000 is $150. I thought I paid $200 a month, but I don't know. It was between 150 and $200 a month. So we went that same day to look at the apartment, and I didn't know what to expect. I was like, oh, is it going to be, a lot of the places here are older, and, but no, this place was everything was brand new. Like they had just remodeled it or something. So we put the down payment, the first month's rent, and then the down payment, and we had our apartment check. So then, Goya was kind of, oh, that was my neighbor, I apologize. She was kind of helping us with certain things like finding air conditioner, a bed, stuff like that. So I asked her, I'm like, do you know anybody that's hiring? And she's like, well, I can give you my old boss's name. They're probably hiring. It's a call center. So I was like, okay, cool. So she gave me Lisa's email address. I emailed her, and then I got an interview for that Monday. So this was Saturday. I think Monday or Tuesday I had the interview. I got on the interview, got the job, started 2 weeks later. So, and it was a call center, so I did have to go to the office. I didn't like it. It was call centers. I don't think everybody knows what a call center is, but it's basically where you go and there's all different campaigns, which means, this one, I don't know, sells, I don't know, let's just say this one sells Coke, this one sells Pepsi, and this one sells water. And they just move you from campaign to campaign if they have to, and you're just trying to sell whatever it is that they're offering. So at that point, I started with Lisa on a new campaign, and it was just sales, and I was just so tired of sales. I was just tired. I've been doing sales all my life, doing debt collection, which I did love debt collection, but I was just tired of it. So I stayed there, and then Lisa got transferred to a different campaign. So my direct supervisor, uh, after she left, was a guy that was using, which made day-to-day life so awful. He had this taser that he would turn on and off. He would yell at people. He yelled at me, and I yelled back. But so yeah, the final straw for me was when he grabbed one of the other guy's arm, and it looks like they were about to fight. It looked like he was going to hit him. So right then and there, I picked up my stuff. I went to HR and I told them, you need to get rid of him or send him to rehab or something, because he's going to end up hurting somebody. They didn't. I pretty much knew they weren't going to do anything because, for one, I'm a female. For two, I'm older. He's male and younger. And so all they told me was, well, we're going to put you on a different campaign, but we don't have any available right now, so we'll let you know when to come back to work. So I was like, okay, that's fine. So I really didn't like that place, but I'm really glad that I started off my work there, here in Mexico, because I met my best friend, Lisa, who is from England, by the way. She came here 20 years ago, loved it, and has been here ever since. She married a Mexican guy, has her little son who I love dearly. And yeah, she's my best friend. And I did meet a couple of other young ladies that I still talk to. So I was able to make a few friends, so that was the best part about that. So once I left, I started applying for jobs just on Indeed. I made my resume, and then I just started applying to every job that I qualified for. Now, I did get a lot of emails, calls, that kind of thing, like a lot. So the first one that I got an interview with was this, I think it was work from home, but it was for a legal office or something like that for immigration. And that one didn't go well, only because my internet I was having issues with it, and it was just going on and in and out, and they didn't like that. So, and then my second interview was for the company that I'm with now, which was, oh my gosh, I'm just so grateful and lucky that I found this place. I mean, I applied with them, didn't even know it was work from home. I was just trying to get a job, so I didn't know it was work from home. I went through a lot of interviews. I was the first person that they were hiring from Mexico. So I had, I think, 4 interviews with 4 different people, plus a working interview. So, which just meant that I was going to take calls, and so they can see how I sound on the phone. And I got paid for that. And then after that, they would tell you, yes, you got it, or no, you didn't. Which by that time, I was pretty sure I had it because, you know, I'm, even though I didn't know what was going on, I'm good at talking to people. So I got that job. I've been there almost 2 years in February 19th. So I'm just so glad that I made the right choice with them. And just to give you a little bit of what the jobs pay here, normally I see about 15,000 pesos a month, which is about $750. Okay, when I worked at the call center, I made 12,000 pesos a month, which is about 600. But I never made a full check because I hated my job and I never really worked a full week ever. And I spent more money on Ubers than my check was, which is, yeah, it was terrible. So anyway, so my job now, I started out as a patient coordinator. So I didn't have to do sales, which was just the best. I just basically took people's insurance information, scheduled their appointments, things like that. And if they kept their appointment and went, I would get a small commission. So I was happy that it wasn't sales for one, and that one started out at 15,000 pesos a month, which is about $750. But then I had my commission, so uh, I would normally make about 24,000 pesos a month, which is about $1,200. So it was great. I loved my job. I loved what I was doing. The money was good. So, and $1,200 a month might not sound like a lot, but it goes really far here. Like, I was able to start my savings, like everything just, yeah, I have money saved, which is really odd for me. But um, so about 3 or 4 months in, I got promoted to a billing specialist, which pretty much doubled my salary, pretty much. And I love it. I've been working that position for about a year and a half, I think, and I'm just so grateful that I found this job. I mean, people ask me, how do I find a job? And the only thing I can really tell them is through I went what I did was go through Indeed in Mexico. They want to know the name of my company. I can't say that. I signed something with them stating I would not use their name on social media, so I can't give out their name. But I found them through Indeed.com, Mexico. So the number one advice I would give to people for looking to try to find anything really is to talk to people. Talk to everybody. Your Uber driver, your waitress or waiter at the restaurant, you know, somebody selling coconuts on the side of the road. Just everybody you can talk to them. Ask questions, ask all the questions. I used to make fun of my mom because she was always talking to the Uber driver, and but that's what I realize now we needed to do because we got a lot of information by just talking to people. I mean, that's how I got my first job, and that's how I got my first apartment. So that is the number one advice I would give you. As far as looking for an apartment, other than talking to people, I really don't know because I didn't have to look that way. I got the apartment the way I did, and then I came straight to buying my house. So I'm not really sure, but I'm sure you can go online. And also asking people really does go a long way. I mean, people love to help other people here. I mean, they just do. They'll do everything they can to try and give you good information, and it's just great. Coming from what's going on right now to this is just such a blessing, even though it's hard, and it was very, very hard, and it still is. It's just a blessing to be around good people. So I hope y'all enjoyed this episode. I will be back next week. And I think next week I'm going to talk about mental health. Um, so, yeah, just like, comment, share, and let me know if you have any questions. And I hope y'all have a great week. Thank you.